everyone, I hope you're good guys. Today I'm gonna show you how I created the first demo of my last sample pack esoteric techno, which been inspired a lot by the infamous Daydream track from i8 Models. So just let's have a look how this demo sounds and what we're gonna try to recreate today. Alright, so obviously the point is not to make a full copy of the original track, but it's just to understand how things have been made. So let's start with the kick. I use for this demo this drum loop. So I'm just gonna grab the kick, drop it here. Alright. Then I use the adds as well from the same loop, which sound like this. So if you want to know more about how to make house loop and how I made this house loop, I've made a video about that. I'm not gonna go again and show you where I explain all about velocity and delays and how you can really create interesting house loop. Then I use this perc loop as well from the same, you see it's like from the same loop, global loop, which is kind of sounding metallic and a bit like between the metallic percussion and a hats. Alright, so in the original there is as well this very more percussive, like more like using tom kind of percussion, and we're gonna try to find a loop like this. So let's see, I've got some extra perc loop here. Yeah, something like this sounds good. Let's see. Maybe I'm gonna... Alright, now I'm just maybe gonna add bassline to kind of support the kick. You can go with a rumble, it's up to you, or you can put a bassline. And for the one, I use this bass loop. So I obviously need the side chain. Alright, let's see. It's not super obvious, but it helps the groove. Alright, so now we're gonna focus on the first main element, and which is one of the first elements, which is the pad. Just gonna create MIDI rack, and I use wavetable for that. So just gonna go grab wavetable. And so for it's in the scale is in D sharp minor, and it's basically just playing minor chord. I will go back to that later. And I use first this wavetable, but as you can see, it's sounding very, it's not really bright, so I around here. So here obviously the sound is very brute, and I had a bit of sub, but I turned the tone around 100% to have more like a kind of so waveform rather than just sine wave. And I put like this. And the oscillator, what I've done with is I pitch it up 7 semitone upper, which is give this feeling. Okay, let me put back. Very common in techno, it gives this detune nice sound effect. And then second oscillator, I just took a sawtooth that I've pitched 7 semitone upper as well. And what I've done as well, I like slightly detune from the oscillator 1. So now you can start to see where we are going. Even you can accentuate this effect with the unison. And I'm gonna put straight to Ray. Alright, so now you got nice detune pad sounds, but it sounds kind of plain. We need to add modulation, and obviously the best way to that is to go to the matrix. Let's add a bit of attack to the sound, which is sound pretty sharp now. Let's add a bit like around. Yeah, that's good. Putting the sustain right up and adding a bit more rhythm. Like this way, when we release the note, it's get longer and it's helping to smooth the transition between the chord progression. Okay, so now we're gonna add a bit of variation with the LFO. So I'm gonna use LFO 1. I'm gonna synchronize the rate. I'm gonna put 4 to have a very slow LFO. I'm not gonna put 100%. I'm gonna put around 32. All right, and then now we can start to modify. Okay, I'm just gonna change the filter as well because we're gonna modify the filter. Just gonna put PRD, which is kind of Moog Prodigy kind of filter. Gonna bring down the frequency, adding a bit of resonance. I'm gonna bring down the volume. Okay. So first thing we can try to modulate is the filter, obviously. So just click filter around here. Alright, that's a good way to add movement. We can as well modulate a little bit this, the oscillator one position. Adding an extra movement. Why not to modify a little bit the resonance as well? And finally, slightly modulate the pitch, but very, very little. Alright, that's pretty much it for the synth itself. So I'm gonna do the chord progression now, and just gonna show you. Insert clip MIDI here. So yeah, the chord progression go like this. It's first D sharp minor, then G sharp minor, then go back to D sharp minor, and then A sharp minor. So when you record, it goes something like this. Alright, just put things quickly good together. Alright. So I'm just gonna need to, the whole loop. Okay, now we should got Alright, so now obviously it's super dry and we need to add some FX. And the first one, I'm gonna use my dissonance rack. It's called Detune FX, but it's the dissonance rack, the video I've made last Sunday. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a little bit of vibrato, just to a bit of wobble, some chorus. Obviously for this kind of sound, chorus works super well. So now we get this nice detune effect. Alright, so now I'm just gonna EQ a little bit just to Just at EQ, I'm gonna add some saturation, easy, and I'm gonna bring down the volume, it's gonna be too loud, and I'm gonna put out curve. Just to make things louder. Then we're gonna add some delay. It's gonna take the echo. Just to put things a little bit on the background, you know. And then a reverb. All right. Then we're gonna add a drum bass, which is here, and keep it soft, just add a little bit of drive. Bit of crunch. Alright, and that's it for the drum bass. And I'm gonna add another last saturation just on the top, just for loudness purpose, let's say. Alright, and we got our part done. Now just let's see with the rest of the track. You can even go even more creative and use the scatter pad that I use in one of my video. Let's see how does it sound. Yeah, not bad. I'm just gonna sidechain maybe. Okay, now let's focus on the acid one, and I'm just gonna create MIDI track. So for the acid, I use my acid rack that I've made with Operator. I will put the link in the description if you know where about acid box. I choose the so one. Okay, I'm gonna just put up a little bit of reverb to something. Okay, sounds good. A bit of drive. Accentuate this acid effect with the envelope, and I'm gonna bring up the Alright, now we've got something similar to what is in the original, but we need to obviously make some effect, delay, reverb, saturation, etc. So first I'm gonna go to grab the saturator, and I'm just gonna change soft sign. Just a little extra saturation. The main things I've used is the pedal, but I'm gonna first put delay and reverb, and like this I will come back to pedal to really show you how it affects the sound. So let's bring echo. Just gonna bring down this. Okay, and a bit of reverb, of course. Okay, so now we get something closer. Now I'm gonna play with the pedal, and I'm gonna put in distorted, which got this nice tone. See, it's giving this sparkness. I don't know how to explain, but it's sounding way much better. Okay, just gonna put a bit more of reverb. Yeah, I'm gonna add one little thing that I like to do as well is to use the saturator on overall effect and with the Artcube one. So I'm just gonna put down because it's gonna be super loud. But Alright, so now let's see about the MIDI. So I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna create a MIDI track. Where is insert MIDI clip? And basically the two main notes is D sharp 1 and same D sharp but 1 octave lower. Okay, I'm just gonna bring down the filter maybe a little bit now. Okay, and one thing which is working really great in Acid, it's like instead of having something like this, like ones or two or multiple of two and stuff like that, if you just go to like this and you see if you will duplicate, it's like the length is 3 bar. It's not like 4, 8, 16. It will be like 3, 6, 12, 24, and this is kind of giving a nice rim, and it's very famous in techno. A lot of people are doing that. So we have. So usually, what is good to do for Acid is just writing a pattern like this. Even sorry, not like this, but like this, and just get rid of some here and there. Or maybe this one, put it 1 octave upper. Then after it's just experimentation. There is no like secret recipe. It's just experiment and. Yeah, actually, this one keep, this one putting up. Maybe just play with the velocity. Alright, and we got our MIDI pattern. Okay, so now we got our MIDI pattern. I'm just gonna do a bit of EQing. Because there is a lot of frequency I don't really need. I'm gonna do it a bit before here. All right. All right, so just now let's see how altogether it's sounding. that's pretty close to what I've done in my demo. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. I hope you like it. I will put the preset for the 2 pads in the description. If you like the sample, you can support me and buy my sample pack, Esoteric Techno. You got all the MIDI file. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys, and see you Sunday. Bye bye, guys.